What's up guys, this is Sean, about to install a Stoptech front big brake kit on my 2009 BMW 335i. Here's my stock brakes. Luckily Stoptech includes installation instructions, but I'm going to do a video for you guys. Craftsman M-Pact gun saves you a lot of time. You want to keep the brake reservoir capped. If you open it, more fluid's going to drain. So, basically, I have a 14mm flare nut wrench here and an 11mm here. You want to undo this line, and you want to cap it with this cap that comes with the Stoptech kit to stop the fluid from draining. And then, hopefully you can see this, but you want to remove two 18mm bolts right there and down here, and the brake calipers will come off. And after that, you want to use a 6mm Allen key and undo that, and then the whole rotor will come off. So let's get to it. Your brake lines may look different than mine because I actually upgraded to stainless steel brake lines with my stock brakes. Can't really see what I'm doing, so I just loosened these two 18mm bolts. Forgot to mention that on my 2009, we're going to remove the brake pad sensor. So I'm just going to pull that off. And it's a little zip tie I had here. I'm just going to cut off the zip tie. Basically, we're not going to use this. We're just going to zip tie it to one of the brake lines, and that's it. Fluid's going to drain, so we're going to remove the stock rotor. See, that's all it took. The rotor comes off, and there you have it. And now we're about to install the big brake kit. First step is to install the caliper holder that comes with the Stoptech kit and reuse your stock bolts. And you can turn the hub assembly for more clearance. And now we're going to torque these two 18mm bolts. It's 81 foot-pounds. So I already cleaned these rotors with soap and water. There's a anti-rust coating on it, and Stoptech, Stoptech says you definitely have to clean it with soap and water, not just brake clean, soap and water first. And now I'm going to use brake clean after I already washed it with soap and water, just to get off my fingerprints. And now let's install the rotor back onto the hub. Make sure this hole lines up to where you're going to install the little hex nut. There we go. Then you want to spin around the rotor to make sure it's not hitting the heat shield, which you can see that it's not. So before we install the Stoptech caliper, the first step is to remove the brake bridge bar. And we're going to do this by removing the 5mm Allen bolts here. So the bleeder valve is always going to be the top of the big brake kit, and make sure that the bridge bar here, 2 arrows pointing up, and I'm going to remember that these bolts, this is the top bolt, I'm going to leave it here, second bolt from the top, third bolt from the top, fourth bolt. Probably doesn't matter because it looks like it's the same length, but I do that just to be sure. Now we're going to remove this, the bridge bar, out of the caliper, and Stoptech recommends you could hit this out with a little rubber mallet, the back side of a mallet. Just tap it out gently and the bridge bar comes off. Now we're going to install this brake caliper on to the brake caliper adapter that you see there. Slide this on. And then you're going to put the washer and then the 12mm bolt, and you're going to torque these 2 bolts to 40 foot-pounds. And again, we're going to spin this to make sure there's clearance, and there is. Now we're going to install the top Stoptech Street performance pads that comes with the kit. Slide it into here. Obviously the friction side against the rotor. And then we're going to install the bridge bar. Arrows point up. Gonna kind of gently tap it into place. Install the first bolt first, and just run a few threads, and then work your way down. And then you want to torque these to 8 to 10 pound-feet, which is not very much. Again, test for clearance. It's fine. So we're going to install the stainless steel brake line onto the big brake kit. I have this pointing outward away from the caliper, the bolt washer, and the other washer between the bender bolts. And there's a rubber grommet in the middle of the big brake kit. We're going to pull that off. Then we're going to install this. Then we're going to tighten this to about 14 foot-pounds, but Stoptech does not recommend using a torque wrench. And remove that rubber grommet we had on here earlier. See that? And make sure you have that other washer that is glued in with the line. Slide that there. And just go back and tighten this with the 14 and the 11. Tight. Everything is tight. And now all we have to do is see the fluid, because I kept the cap on, it's still full. We're going to open that up, add some fluid, and actually what I run is the Motul RBF 600 brake fluid. This is the brake fluid that I run. Motul RBF 600 high temperature brake fluid. You have someone pump the brakes and then hold the brake pedal down, open up the outside bleeder valve, the fluid comes out, tighten it back up, pump the brakes, hold it down, open up the inside bleeder valve, fluid comes out, and you do that back and forth. And make sure you keep an eye on the brake fluid reservoir and add some when you need it. And now you have to go bed in the brakes. More information on that, on bedding and brakes, can be found on the Stoptech website. And that's it for the DIY. Hope you guys see how easy that was. Alright.